Okay, guys, this is Miguel with ATA. This is gonna be the beginning of the webinar, and today we're gonna touch base on a lot of the market structure for this week and the next day, and possible for the next upcoming week. As we got some very important news for the Bank of Japan. So I'm gonna hop in, starting with the pound Jappy. Pound Jappy right now, um, as we see, we're at a very important resistance right now. And we can see all these touches that we've done. And I'm on the higher time frame on a daily, because that's going to be your true market structure, and basically it's going to give you the best direction for your trading. So yeah, right now it looks like the bears took over earlier, as we got some very important news from Japan, stating that in fact there was not going to be no helicopter money at this point in time. Essentially, what that means is they're not going to print a bunch of money. Um, you know that would cause inflation, and I think that they thought that was a really bad idea. But the thing is that right now, with the whole Brexit thing going on, and there's a lot of uncertainty. We will have to wait and see what exactly they say for next week. So I'm gonna hop in pound Jappy, pound Jappy, pound Jappy. Okay, so in the next couple of hours, does everyone and you can just let me know if you hear me or you understand what I'm about to say, and then just mute your mic again. Do you guys see this? Because we're pretty much just ranging. Is everybody here?
Yeah.
Okay. So my trade would be here. I took this trade earlier, but for right now, I would not advise to take any trades unless we have a break from this box. And you guys see this pivot right here? Just let me know yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. So if you want, guys, I want you guys to put out this pivot and this pivot on your. Just you can draw like a line, resistance and support for these two important price points. Because whichever we break, if we break out of this, we're probably gonna break. We're gonna move heavy to that side. Right now, I feel like the pound is very weak from earlier, because the pound had horrible news with the retail sales. They were really bad. So for right now, I think I'm still gonna be. There's a little uncertainty right now, but I think the Jappy is a little stronger. So in fact, if we do break this price point, the 139.30, and we close, and by closing I mean on the 1 hour higher time frames, if we close below that support and we have a bearish continuation, we enter the short position. And I'm gonna be following this, and most likely I'll put it out on the group. But I want to make sure I see this play out. I'm not gonna call any position until we break out of this range. Do you guys understand why we don't want to enter like a position unless unless you want to scalp real quick? But right now, I would not advise not even a scalp. Do you guys understand why I wouldn't advise to trade right now, especially like we're like close to the support?
Because it hasn't definitively went a certain direction, or if any, I think is that considered a Z formation or like consolidation?
Yeah, it's consolidating right now. So the smart move, the smart play. I think we're pretty much bearish just because of this break. Um, but I want confirmation by the break of this and the close under. And this is, a lot of people might say, oh yeah, but you're going to lose 60, 80 pips. Yeah, and like I mentioned before, yeah, and then you can be negative 400 pips. if you're wrong. So just this is all about patience. Patience, patience, patience. I'm gonna touch base on this in a little second, but I want to show you guys how the dollar yen I think is a better setup. Do you guys see this this little channel? Let me try this. Do you guys see this little channel? We've been coming, 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 and you see how we made an attempt to break this on the daily chart?
Yes.
Okay, so same thing with this. We made an attempt to go, for the bulls to take over, but what I said. Let me go over the euro while that loads. And here's the same scenario for this other pair. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of people will say, yeah, they don't really look the same. But you guys understand like how they pretty much are doing the same market structure. Like, do you guys understand that? As far as like the bears took over, the euro lost a lot of strength. What is going on? Give me one quick second. I'll be right back. Let me restart this. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can.
No, I don't know.
Can.
I don't know what's going on. All right. I keep booting me out. All right, I'm just gonna go in, and if you guys, I'm gonna touch base with you like every so often. So I just just let me know. Yeah, I understand that. If you have a question, I will answer them at the end. But I'm gonna make this a little. So I'm gonna kind of give you guys kind of like a little trade setup, just for something to keep a lookout for. But you guys see why the dollar yen to me is like the best and safest trade, simply because we're at we came up here to this pivot and we fell several times. And right now, if we happen to break this, we're gonna go down. But here's the thing: a lot of people right now are doing that. So don't be faked out. Wait for the break of this trend line, guys. And this is on the H4. Wait for break of a structure, a very strong structure. And I tell you why it's so strong and why it's important. Because here you see a lot of attempts, all these attempts to break, and we couldn't do it. And we had the same amount of attempts from the lower side, right, in order to break up. Now, I want you guys to wait for this to hold or break. So if this happens to break and we close in the 1 hour, and you can look at the price, you can try to enter a short position. But I would not short XXX Jappy Crossbirds. I would not short them yet until we have a continuation for bears. Okay, I would not short yet, and I'm gonna go over as well with the euro yen. We're at the same spot. We're at the same spot. We're not gonna take trades until we have breaks. And here's the most important thing. I wanted to so you guys can kind of see this. You guys see this little support here? Okay? Look, if we do not break this, guys, there's no continuation for bears. If we don't break this, there's none. This can clearly do this. Okay? So we gotta be patient, Like right now, there's a lot of inconsistencies. So the major things I want you guys to take a look at as far as the fundamental side. I want you to look at the Bank of Japan. Next week, I believe they're gonna announce their monetary policy, and the pound is still gonna have more news. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the strength of the euro. The euro took a hit. The euro took a hit this morning as well. So those are very important price points where until the safest trade would be until we break this. And like I said before, you're going to miss out on 40 pips or whatever. But look, if this breaks, we have a safer trade. You guys can unmute your mic just to let me know that if you heard that. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, so um, I wanted to also take a go back to the pound pound Jappy. Okay, look at this. This is an important support. So again, we have to be patient because right now we're in a big range. Like right here, this is a big range. If it hits here, guys, on the 138.50, and we don't break, we're gonna go back up to that range of 142.68. I'm not sure if you guys remember. Uh, Here, let me give you an example. And it's very important. I always preach this to visually see it. You see this big range right here, where we were like pretty much just bouncing off this prices right here until we gave out this support and we just collapsed. That's the same thing as this. The same thing, same scenario, but on a smaller scale. Because that move up there was bigger. But this is the same scenario, guys. If we don't break this, we're gonna keep coming up here. Okay, same thing as if we don't break this, we're gonna come back to the structure. But we gotta keep an eye on fundamentals right now. I cannot stress that enough. Like really look at the rate cut announcements by the ECB. The monetary policies from the GBP and the monetary policies by the Bank of Japan. Those are crucial. Those are crucial. And I want to give you guys pretty much like what to look for as far as deciding, what currency is going to be strong at this point. So essentially right now, guys, like if I think right now the Bank of Japan is having like a plan to do this multi-billion-dollar stimulus, right? So I'm gonna ask everyone a question. What do you think, guys, if a big economy, whatever, if they get like all this money, basically if they get bailed by the government, what do you think is gonna be the effect for the government? You can unmute your button and just answer like in one sentence or whatever.
You said if they give what to the government? Say that again.
A big stimulus. They're thinking about coming up with a big stimulus package for the Bank of Japan. The Bank of Japan.
Then that'll make the Bank of Japan dollar stronger.
You think it's gonna make it stronger by like putting in a bunch of money so they basically bailing them out?
Oh no! It'll get weaker.
Yeah. So that's why I believe these aren't breaking yet. Right here. Right here. Now today, this is the important price. Today we dropped from here to here because Japan came out and made an announcement that said they were not going to come up with some helicopter project, helicopter money, basically just throwing a lot of money in the economy, printing out money essentially. So those are very key points to look at. I want you guys to ask me a question right now, and then I'm gonna touch base on a few more things to keep an eye for these three pairs: the pound, the dollar, and the euro yen. You guys have a question?
Man, isn't whenever the Bank of Japan pursues any type of stimulus or anything, although typically you're right that an asset purchase program should devalue the yen, isn't the Bank of Japan notorious in terms of, the forex market might react adversely to what conventionally how it should react? Since they do a lot and they say a lot, isn't it possible that people might not take it credible or be like, oh, this asset purchase program might not be enough, so the yen could potentially strengthen as a result because there's not enough belief in that it might do much.
Yeah, that's a very critical point, and that's we keep an eye on. I think I mentioned I keep an eye on JP and 225. That's the stocks and stuff like that. So yeah, you're right on that. But like to me, I won't until I hear like them say whatever, and the way they say it, as far as like how the investors are going to react. That's how the markets are going to move. Because the stocks react inversely to the actual currency. That's why I look at the JPN 225, and when the JPN 225, that's the stocks and all that. When it's shooting up, the yen is weakening. So yeah, you're right on that. It reacts adversely. Yeah.
Although I only want to bring up one other point because I think I remember reading somewhere that the Nikkei, it is correlated to yen, but from what I've read recently, that it's actually, it's like the tail wagging the dog. The Nikkei moves due to the yen, not the other way around. So I'm wondering if it's really such a good idea to look at the Nikkei to then determine whether yen might move.
Yeah, to me, it right now it's at a very important price. Look, I mean, give me 1 second. I'm going to show you something. So I don't think we have it right here in the Cent and Direct. I follow it. And not so much like to tell me that whether to sell or not. It just gives me a good idea of where the investors are thinking and have their money at. That's pretty much why I've been very icky in selling. I think we're still at a very weird position. Look, I'm not going to show this because I don't see it on the other. Yeah, you see how we're at a very we struggle to break this very important trend line, this very important price. So, I would not try to sell until we break here, or we make another attempt and try to breach this. I feel like this clearly can still come back and shoot up. I just feel like the yen is not it's not as strong as the markets are trying to make it seem. So we kind of see that on the same identical thing on the yen, on the dollar yen. You see how it's pretty much just at the same point. We're at the very top. We're kind of like squeezing in this little zone. So to me, like keep an eye on what they're coming out as far as like a lot of times like the big other banks like J.P. Morgan and all those banks, they come out and they give you a more precise scenario other than what the Bank of Japan tells you. Does that make sense? Like, I mean, I know what you mean by like I'll be all the way around, but I follow JP225 like to give me some sense of direction for the yen because I know how the dollar is doing as far as the stock market and all that. So if I see some type of inconsistency from them, and the Bank of Japan is announcing that the economy it's not as we thought, that's just a more clear thing that the dollar's overtaking the yen and it's going to continue shooting up. So like right now I'm really not looking for shorts still. Like I'm very like I'll sell at the very high, but right here I think I saw some people trying to sell right now. I'm not. It's just to me the yen is not strong. It's not strong enough yet for me to do that. But like I said, maybe close to London. We'll see how it pans out. But to me, I still feel like the yen is like in between. Did that kind of answer your question as far as like how I perceive that? I mean, I look at the JPN 225, and I read at their website, and as far as like what's their sentiment from the investors and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, are investors putting more money in their stocks and stuff, or are they kind of like worried? And then after that, the snowball effects happen, and the market reacts afterwards. But if you can kind of have that notion and that understanding before it's announced out to the public, and like do your own research, you kind of have an idea. Okay, this makes sense. The investors are pulling out their money. So right now, all these announcements of like the yen being healthy and stuff, it's false, right? So you don't go with the hype of like, oh, it's the yen, the prospects are going to fall off and stuff like that. Like to me, until we get this break and I follow Bloomberg and all these other news sources. So until I get that assurance, I'm not going to short it long term. It's too risky for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that caught my attention is that when you said investors are worried and they pull out their money, well, because the yen's typically a safe haven currency, even when they pull out money of the Nikkei, or Japan in general, I've seen the yen still go up surprisingly. So, I mean, it looks like more worry and panic is actually what strengthened the yen, even amid, I think, more stimulus and, easing. You know, just my opinion.
That's that. A lot of that is temporary. Because I feel like I know what you mean by when they announce certain things like that, but as you see very aggressive moves like that, you know they don't continue with the trend. It's just like hard moves and then it falls back. You know what I'm saying? Or it moves the other way. So I mean, the past announcements they've been bad and the yen has been shooting up. You know what I'm saying? And the little dips that have fallen, they're false moves. That's what I mean by like the overall structure. This yen is not strong yet. Does that make sense? I know what you
Yeah,
mean though. Like when you say that when investors pull money and stuff like that. But if you notice the overall trend, then the yen has been rising. How long has it been rising, right? And there's been bad news after bad news. So first the helicopter, then this other statement by the BOJ, and they just been shooting and weakening the yen, right? So that's what I mean by look at the overall picture as far as the market structure, and it'll be a little more clear. And if you look at the JPM 225, it's been shooting up, right? Truth of the matter is, investors make money regardless. It's not like they lose money. They'll just use their money to go the other way. So they will not lose money. It's just it's going to be announced like that, but that's false. But like I told you, like all the news in the past week and a half, they've been horrible, right, for the yen. Otherwise, we would be dropping, right? So now, and I called this when the Brexit happened and stuff. I was like, the UK to me, I don't believe it's going to leave. Um, the people's vote and all that, to me, it's meaningless. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean they're going to leave. Just because there's a lot of things behind. Just people, let's leave. Because people are unaware of what kind of recession the UK could go without the support of the union. You know, and the main issue with a lot of the people, a lot of the politicians was that we're paying all these millions of dollars to the European Union and this and that, this and that. Yeah, but it's like us that we pay taxes and stuff. Right? We have to because we have roads and all this other third party things. But does that kind of make sense, man? Like just follow the overall structure. The little dips and stuff, if they don't make lower lows, stuff like that, they're just fake moves. You know, if the dollar yen drops 80 pips or something, but the support holds, it's a fake move. You know, the dollar's too strong. It's just market has to move up, down, up, down, up, down. It cannot move up, 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 up. For 12, 15 hours, right? At the end of the day, it might reach a point, but it does not just move like 1,000 pips a day, right? Up. So I hope I didn't confuse you. I hope that makes sense.
no, it made sense. Thank you.
Derry, you have a question?
No, I've just been following, just been able to listen, and just you just saying the true fundamental in the direction of the market, if a bad trend, if the bad news and everything, it's going up, but at some point it's going to fall, so it's chance for, to get there, because it can easily move back the other way that quick.
Yeah, like just I'm pretty sure everyone's heard this, but just follow the trend. The trend is your friend. I don't want to sound cheesy, but because like some of my friends and stuff, like they'll text me and they'll ask me certain questions, like, "Hey man, you think I should short this?" And I always tell them like, "Why? What's your bias on that?" Right? So to me, like I said, there is no shorts for me yet. At least at this point in time. Um, Here we have like another little triangle forming, so you know we could come retest here. If this holds, we're gonna come back here. If this doesn't hold, we're gonna come back to this price, right? So it's just little patterns that I look at, and I try to like have a lot of like self control where I want to see this happen this time in order for me to short, you know. And then I'll go follow my fundamentals. And all right, this is going on right now. How did the stock market close at 5 p.m. Right? How strong is the dollar right now? All right, for the next 4 to 6 hours, I'm going to look for short opportunities, right? I'm going to look for buy opportunities. That's how I base my whole trading structure. I don't like, what everybody is talking about, everybody's shorting, I saw a lot of people shorting dollar yen way over here, you know? And I mean, I saw a lot of people shorting from here, but we clearly had, bulls have taken over, right? So, that's how I follow my trading plan, guys. Just how are the economies health wise? What is the market showing, right? What is it giving you? Is it giving you more weakness for the dollar? Is it giving you more strength for the yen? You gotta decide that and stick with it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get faked out. Like, oh man, it's shooting up. Oh man, but it ain't close, right? So it could easily retrace, close under this pivot, and just free fall, right? So like right now, for example, like there's no trade, right? The smart thing to do is there's no trade right now, right? If this holds, guys, if this holds, you may have another short opportunity, to catch your 40, 60 pips right here, right? Take your 40, 60 pips and get out, right? How does I wanted to ask everyone, I know you're just starting, but like Daniel, what are your daily goals and stuff like that? How do you respect your trading plan on a daily basis?
I mean, the main problem for me that I noticed that I've had a hard time, being up at the right times. Like I look back some
Uh-huh.
days and I see I missed a setup, so I'm like, damn. So, you know, I haven't found like the right hours, for me to trade it. I'm gonna try, the hours you mentioned from 7:30 to 10:30 now. But I
Uh-huh.
mean, for climbing, yeah, I would like to meet a daily goal like 5 to 10%. It'd be great, but I haven't been able to achieve that, so I've been kind of just going along with the signals you guys put out for now, and so
Okay.
I can be more
Look,
consistent in the trading.
okay. I want to advise something to you. Okay. Look, go to Excel, and everyone can do this. Go to Excel, or you do a notebook. Write down your starting account size balance, right? And start with 3 to 5%, Daniel. Don't go to 10%. Go to 3 to 5%. And I mentioned this to Daryl earlier. Start with 3 to 5%. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, so let's say you have $1,000 account, right?
Mm-hmm.
The easiest way for that calculator, right? And thinking is like, okay, 10% of 1,000 is $100, right? So 5% is $50, right? So keep 3 to 5%. So make about 35 to $50 a day. And when you make that trade and you make that 3 to 5%, close your computer. Like have the self control to do that. So you don't lose it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
have the self control to do that and plan your trades, right? Okay, I'm gonna take 2 contracts today, and once I'm up, 3 to 5%, I'm done, right? Because I'm gonna give you an example. The following day, if you make another 3 to 5%, you know, that's another 30, $50, right? And then a few days later, you're going to be up. You're going to be up 10, 15, 20% without even noticing it, right? Just because you following that plan, that percentage plan, that daily goal plan, right? Because I see a lot of people like, oh man, I think it's going to drop to like 80 pips, right? So what they do, like, um, hold, hold, hold. They might put their stop up here. So let's say, for example, like they sold here and they put their stop here, and they were up like 30, 40 pips here, and their stop's still up here, and then this thing just shoots up, and they lost everything, right? Every single time you come here, and it's going in your favor, you're 20, 30, 40 pips up, take it, right? Take it. Because are you really good with your lot size?
Unfairly, yeah.
So you use very similar lot size, right? So let's say for example you're doing 10, point 10, point 15, right? And you're very like consistent with that. If there's news or something, you don't try to be a hero and you place like a point 50, right? You're very consistent with like, all right, I'm gonna stick with point 10, point 15, point 10, point 15.
I mean, I I try to base it more on like financial risk. I mean, I'll try to place my stops strategically, you know. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, lot size varies, but in the end, I risk the same amount, pretty much.
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll just give you an example, like, because I do move my lot size around, and I do like depending on the like you just said, the risk and the reward, I base it off that. But I know, a lot of people like, do 0.50 one day, and then another, trying to risk the same amount. But it's very difficult. If you do 0.50 and you're down 2-3% real quick. Then if you place a 0.10 and you're only down 0.005, right? So that's what I meant by that. Like, start out by picking out a lot size where you're very comfortable, and then from there on, then you start branching out a little more to risk to reward. And I think that's going to help you. But yeah, and what you mentioned that sometimes you miss the moves and stuff. Um, that's gonna be like what I do. I want everyone to download. It's called Call Alerts. So it's like a little app, and it'll notify you like when a certain price hits and stuff like that. That's what I use. Sometimes when I'm out and about and I'm not in front of my computer, I put several little alerts. So when certain prices hit, I'm alerted on my phone. So download that app, guys, and like Danny, if you're out or whatever, and oh man, I need to get home, or whatever, and or you forget about forex, whatever, but you had planned earlier to maybe get on a sell position at this price, to maybe look at this, this candle break, this candle close, that alerts you, so you can kind of like look at the charts, what now if you fall asleep or something, that's another story, but no, I think that app helps a lot.
I'll look into it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other concern I would have is like, let's say, you know, yeah, maybe making 3 to 5% a day is reasonable, but what if you turn it into like a swing trade the last days? I mean, at that point, you know, might not be consistently 3 to 5% a day. I mean, wouldn't you aim for more than in that particular trade if you're planning on to take it for like, you know, 3 days, 4 days, you know, 2 days even?
Yeah, but this is why this is why I mentioned the swing trade, because um, until you can be consistent with like 3 or 5%, like let's say you can get like some shorter term trades, uh, then you can branch out to let your winners run a little more, and this is why right now, especially, like I did a swing trade earlier with the Aussie earlier in the week, but like as the market started getting choppy, there's no swing trade options, right? So that's why if you get very consistent with your 3 to 5% a day, then when there's no swing options, you can go back to your essence of like 3 to 5%. So you can kind of keep that consistency. Now with swing trade, yeah, you're gonna close with like 15, 20 some percent, right? Because all the pips. But first start trying to get consistent with short term trades. That's gonna build your character, and it's gonna you're gonna be a little more confident. To hold the trend, just let it go. Every few hours, or every day, move your stock, right? But if the markets are very choppy, there's probably no swing trade option. Like right now, this could be a nice swing, right? For
Yeah.
the for the ends. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna probably swing this. I swing. I think I showed. I don't know if I did, but about. Let's see. Oh yeah,
Although
this
when it comes to making like the 3 to 5%, you know, in a short time frame, like day trading almost, I mean, I don't think it would be that advisable to be looking at the day, even 4 hour charts. I mean, that might, I mean, you get the true trend, but it really won't help you with the actual trading for the day. I mean,
Oh no, it will, man. Because I mean, you enter like you enter more like with a trend. Like you won't try to gamble your, like I said, like right here. I'm pretty sure some people are buying right now, right?
hmm
But to me, it's like no, I'm gonna wait and see if this holds. I'm gonna short it, right? Or if this breaks, I'm gonna buy here, right? I'm very like I have a lot of self control with that. I'm not gonna try to gamble a trade, right? So 3 to 5%, bro. Not a lot of people can do it. So it's not like it's not hard, but it's just that the only reason I feel like people can't do it is because they if one day they make 6%, they're having I'm going to go for 10%, and I'm going to go for 10%. So then they end up losing the 6% plus more. So that's why it's so difficult. And yes, you're right. On the smaller time frames, you're going to get your 3 to 5%. But in the higher time frames, that could be a little swing. That if it's a winner, let's say for example, if you go on the higher time frame on the daily or whatever, or on the 4 hour, and let's say it closed below a support or whatever, and you caught the retest, and you're only going for 3 to 5%, but it's going to be a continuation. Then your 3 to 5% might turn into 15 to 20%, right? That could be your confirmation, But at first, get your 3 to 5%, And you're right, if that makes you feel more comfortable, just not even looking at the higher time frames, don't. But I advise it so you know what the trend is. So look for self or look for buys if it's going down or if it's going up. Don't try to counter trend. You know, don't try to do that.
Talking about, I'm trying to download it now. Is it on and I have an Android. I see FX alert, Forex alert, but I'll call it. What is that app called?
It's called Call Alert. You should. Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of my buddies downloaded the other day. I think he had an Android. Give me a second. Let me see the exact.
Not,
I want to apologize. I have to go now. I have to leave the call. So thank you very much for everything.
Okay.
I appreciate it, but I gotta go. Bye.
Okay, yeah.
Take care. Bye.
okay. I see.
Yeah, it's
Like when I put call alert in Google Play Store, I got call alert flag notifications. I think that was the.
I'll take a look. I'll take a look there, and I'll try to see if I can find it for Android, and I'll message you. I'll message you in a little bit. But yeah, this is everyone. I think everyone's off now. But do you have any more questions, Errol? I'm about to get off, and just keep an eye on those.
Yeah, I see exactly what you like. You know what? I mean, pretty much all in all, you're like, hey, be patient. And actually, I talked to Markel. He's like, the market, that's basically what you're saying. The market takes away from the impatient and rewards the patient. So, being able to really understand the trend and then see those formations, see what it's doing, just really wait until, to get back to those pivotal points where, to actually change based on, the actual trend of it. Just wait, but it's going to go down. It's a downtrend. For those that thought it was going up and see that it was going up, if it did go up, they could have blown their whole account because the trend was down and it made that sharp momentum move.
Yeah, so that's why I say like earlier I stated I was like it's even if you miss those 30, 40 pips, you're gonna be rewarded because once that market structure sets up, you're gonna make tenfold, right? But if you're impatient and you jump in and that retracement gets you, you're gonna lose tenfold. So it really is waiting. It's waiting. But like I said, a lot of people can't do it.
No, I definitely at 3 to 5%. That makes total sense. Like you said, getting your confidence up, and then being able to get your skills up, and being able to read and analyze in that way. And then as you go, it's like taking crawl before you walk before you learn type scenario. So no, I totally get it. I'm totally on board. But is there anything that you think that'll benefit you just in regards to like you saying this a quick message me or whatever it may be, because I'm a true student now and I want to be close with be able to keep back to what you continue to keep saying and fundamentals. so I'm good.
Yeah, just keep and if you wonder, just start focusing on a few things. Start reading on here, and then like looking at the market structure, like I was telling you. Look at your support, look at your resistance levels, and just keep an eye on the economies, the strength of them, how they're doing, and stuff like that. And that's going to give you an edge. That's going to give you an edge because I feel like a lot of technical traders they could be better if they just do a little extra as far as like understanding the whole picture and not just trading like based on one thing. Based on this is a market structure here. This is gonna break. This is gonna go here. I don't know.
Right.
To me, it.
No, okay, appreciate it. I mean, definitely being on this call, really learning a lot. And I mean, I appreciate it totally taking the time, to be able to, be on here with us, and especially for me being new, and just, I'm seeing and I'm getting it. Like you said, you like the trading is the part, the patience is the harder part. Uh,
And like a lot of people don't get that. They're like, oh man, I missed it. Let me go ahead and still jump in late. Nope, it don't work like that.
it's just what you're talking about. Like if I'm trying to go for 10% and I lose 6%, then I lost way more than 3 to 5% that I could have been gaining daily. When I'm trying to go, I'm trying to go for the big bass fish, but I really need to be catching these guppies and get these right. So before I know how to change my skill set to go get that fish.
Yep. No, that's good, man. Just yeah.
It's fine. So appreciate it. I'll be on there next Thursday looking for your setups and everything that you're putting on the group. I'm looking at it, and I'm in there trying to see and figure it out. So I'm feeling really good about where I was at last week and this week, and that's the goal.
That's good. Yeah, man. Just baby steps, baby steps. Because like I tell a lot of people, you're gonna have an aha moment one day when you're oh man, I understand this, I understand that. And that's when things are start rolling. But a lot of people, like, I'm pretty sure you've seen the little meme or whatever when somebody's like digging in the diamonds like literally like at arm's reach and they stop. That's what happens with a lot of traders. They fail, and then just, oh man, it's too hard, and just, they're so close. Maybe they were that night they could have had a breakthrough trade, right? But that's why I tell you, man. Like it's just trying to stay consistent, trying to just stay profitable. You can lose 10 and win 4, and you still get the profit, right? So
Right.
it's just, and it's all about the risk management and the trading your planning your trades.
Right. Got it. Makes total sense. Well, appreciate it again, Mr. Flex. And next Thursday I'll be on, and obviously looking for your signals and the different information you give out.
Okay, man. Well, you have a great afternoon, and keep an eye on the setups I told you guys, and just be patient with them because I think later today we might see some nice moves. They're just they're setting up now. So just right now we're kind of just plant, and like you said, we wait, and then we execute, and we see them, and that's it.
Right. Beautiful thing. Appreciate to be a part of y'all team and growing knowledgeable with the things you guys are sharing with me. So I'm totally on board, and thank you very much for the rest of the day. Really, and the rest of the day be good to you as well.
All right, talk to you soon.
So, bye.
Bye.